It's time for another experience lab. I brought my notebook with me today, thinking maybe I'd write something, but I keep flipping through blank pages like they're gonna tell me what to say. Poets like Wordsworth made it look easy. They just felt something, saw something, and somehow it became a truth the rest of us could feel too. Maybe I just need to find some inspiration in nature. Oh, hey, I think the snow is starting to slow down. Let's stop. Perfect. Let's try to find some inspo here. Wow, it's so quiet, so still, so peaceful. I think I know what to write about now. And that brings me to today's mission. We're going to reverse the 4T framework and work backward from a truism to craft an experience for the reader that expresses a related theme. Grab your guided notes and let's get started. You've already seen how romantic poets express truth through emotion and imagery. In My Heart Leaps Up, Wordsworth sees a rainbow, and that moment of joy becomes so important to him, he ties it to every stage of life. He's not just describing a pretty sky, he's showing us that this feeling, this emotional spark from nature, is part of what gives life meaning. That's the kind of truth we're going to explore. Last time we used the 4T framework to help us analyze a poem, starting with what was happening in the text and ending with a theme. But today you're going to reverse that process. You're going to start with a truth you believe, a truism, and then work backward to design a piece of writing that expresses it. You may choose to write a poem, a personal reflection, or even a script for a scene in a movie. What you write is your choice, but we will all work toward the same goal: developing a theme and creating an experience that helps our readers feel it. First, you'll create a truism about nature, something that tells us a general truth about life that feels real to you. Then you'll pick a topic, a specific experience or moment in nature that can bring that truth to life. Next, you'll plan the trail, the emotional or narrative journey your writing will take. After that, you'll draft your piece, weaving in imagery and emotion to help your reader experience your truth. Finally, you'll write a thematic statement that captures the meaning you created. That's how you'll create a thematic experience. Not by stating a theme, but by building one your reader can feel. Now let's get started with a truism. Something I believe is that nature's stillness can clear the noise and help us see what matters. That's the truth I want to express in my writing. Now it's your turn. What's a truth you believe about nature? What have you experienced, noticed, or felt that might reveal something real about life? Pause to think and record your own truism about nature. Now that we have our truth, it's time to select a topic. Let's take the truism I just shared. That's a big idea, so now I need to get specific. What topic or experience from nature could help me explore this? I could write about hiking alone in the woods, or watching a storm roll in across a field, or maybe just sitting still by a lake, noticing how the light changes on the surface. But I think I'm going to write about the feeling of walking through snow, how quiet everything gets, and how it makes you feel like the whole world has slowed down just enough for you to hear your own thoughts. That moment, walking in snow, will be my topic. It's the experience I'll use to bring the truism to life. Now take a couple minutes to brainstorm a topic for your writing, something that you can use to express the truism you chose. So I've got my truism and my topic. To help me plan out the trail of meaning that will unfold for my readers, I want to put myself in the moment and consider the imagery. What sensory details could help me transport my reader into this moment so they can feel and experience it for themselves? I'm thinking about what I might notice with each of my senses. What would I see? The way the snow sparkles in the morning light. My footprints marking a perfect path through untouched snow. What would I hear? the soft crunch under my boots, maybe the distant caw of a crow. What would I feel? The sting of cold air on my cheeks, the warmth of my breath inside my scarf. What would I smell? That crisp, clean air you only get in winter. I don't have to use every detail I think of, but these will be the building blocks I can choose from as I plan my trail and write my piece. Now pause the video and list some sensory details you can include to add imagery to your piece. Now that we have some key imagery that can help our readers experience the moment, let's think about how we can put it all together into a trail, that path the writing will follow from beginning to end. This is all about building a feeling or an insight that grows as the piece moves forward. Here's how I imagine it. I'd start with a physical moment in nature. When I step outside into the snow, cold air stings my cheeks and my breath hangs in the air. My boots crunch against the untouched surface, leaving a neat line of footprints. At first I notice the sparkle of the snow and the faint caw of a crow in the distance. Then I'll move through a shift in emotion. The silence sinks in. The stillness feels peaceful, like my thoughts finally have room to breathe. Slowly the noise in my head clears, and what I've been struggling to figure out suddenly feels simple. By the end, I'll reach a quiet realization connected to my truism. Nothing in the snowy field has changed, but I have. The stillness of nature helped me see what really matters. Now it's your turn. You've got your own truism and your topic. So what trail will your writing follow? Think back to the imagery you brainstormed and how you can use it to bring this moment to life. Where are you? What's happening around you? What do you notice? Then think about how it might unfold. Does something shift in what you're feeling, thinking, or realizing? Finally, consider how it ends. What lasting impression or emotion do you want your reader to walk away with? How can your ending help the reader feel the truism you chose? You don't have to map out every detail, just outline the path. Pause and plan the trail your piece will take. Great work today. You'll find space in your lesson materials to write your draft. Use your truism, topic, imagery, and trail to guide you, focusing on building an experience your reader can feel. That's exactly what the Romantic poets did. They didn't just tell you what they believed. They shaped moments that made you feel, whether it was the joy of a rainbow, the dance of daffodils, or the quiet beauty of a winter scene. You have the same opportunity now. So take your time, trust your senses, and work to develop a theme, guiding your reader through the experience you've created.
Hey, hey.